Welcome to Algebra 1. Today we are going to do this warm-up in the video format. So I'm going to start off with this first question here. So it says solve for x in the first equation. So this here is the first equation. And then use that to find the answer to the second one here. So first thing I'm going to do is solve this part for x. So I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides and then divide by 2. Okay, I find that the answer to this first part is x equals 2. Now I'm plugging this 2 in here for x to solve what this is equal to. I get 6 plus 1 equals 7. So my final answer here is 7. I'm going to circle that. So go ahead and press pause on this video and solve number 2. When you're done solving it, then you'll press play and check to see if your answer matches what I have. Okay, so I found the first part, x equals 4. I'm going to plug in 4 to the second part here. And x equals negative 14. Okay, now 3 and 4 says solve for x. So problem 3 here, we saw a similar type yesterday. So if I'm looking at this left side, this 4 is closest to the x. Okay, so that's the best friend. This minus 5 is that not so great friend. So if you want to leave the party first, this not so great friend leaves first. So I need to add 5 to both sides. Okay, now I need to get rid of this divide by 4. So the opposite is multiply both sides by 4. Those 4's on the left canceled, so I have negative x equals 24. I'm not done here. I can't have this negative sign in front of the x. So I need to divide both sides by negative 1 because remember there's this invisible 1 here that we don't usually write. So divide both sides by negative 1. So then you get x is equal to negative 24. Okay, so your answer always needs to just be x or just y. You can't have a negative in front. All right, number 4 here, we have 2 fractions. So this one's a little tricky. So I need to get rid of these fractions. Okay, we don't like those. So I'm going to get rid of this fraction by what we call clearing the fraction. I'm going to write 2 over 1 here on this right side to make it look in that fraction format. Okay, so I have to figure out what's the least common multiple of 1, 4, and 2. Remember, the smallest that number could be would be 4 because that's the biggest number. So if I picked 4, all of these numbers go into 4, so that's a good choice. I'm going to multiply this whole equation by 4 over 1. Okay, so I'm going to now distribute this 4 over 1 to the first fraction, the second fraction, and the third fraction. Okay, so I had 4 times 1 is 4, 1 times 2 is 2. The x stays. 4 times 3 is 12, 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8, 1 times 1 is 1. Now I'm going to divide out these fractions so I get whole numbers. So the whole point of this is to eliminate these bottom numbers so I just have nice whole numbers to work with. So 4 divided by 2, I'll get 2. And I'm going to divide these other ones out to get 3 and then 8. So now this equation in green looks like one we are comfortable solving. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides and then divide by 2 to find x. So I should get 5 halves, and I'm just going to leave my answer like that in the improper fraction form. All right, congratulations. You finished your first video in Algebra 1.